That's a face only a mother could love. Look at him. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Ugh. Ow. Hi, you silly goose. In today's video, we are taking a look at 5 indie deck builders that stood out to me among the ever-growing list of deck building games. Our list today starts with Becoming Captain, developed by La Havre Creation. If you have dreamed of becoming the captain of a spacefaring pirate ship, wielding all sorts of weapons from the humble rock to the scorching plasma rifle, then this game is right up your alley. Right away, the first observation that I have is that I'm a big fan of the character art in the game. The art gives me Stellaris vibes, which is a big plus because Stellaris has some great visuals. As with most deck building games, Becoming Captain tasks the player with creating and optimizing their deck, utilizing different abilities in order to take down the opponent. Some of the opponents specialize in different deck builds, and this guy, which looks a lot like me when I stand in front of my refrigerator in the middle of the night, looking to stuff my face with concerning amounts of cheese cubes. Probably why my voice acting sounded the way it did. Peep the card in the right corner to witness that for yourself. Anyway, Big Billy really loved his poison weapons, doing the best he could to subdue my character, which is an incredibly accurate representation of me. I mean, just look at the resemblance. As far as other gameplay mechanics go, the amount of actions you could take per turn was limited by your energy, meaning that you had to choose your moves wisely. Being victorious in battle would reward you with a prize card and some skulls that you could use to purchase upgrades or cards in the shop. Unfortunately, I do have to say that I did experience a bug that forced me to restart the run. As I was fighting this fella, I believe that I made the AI so mad because I was doing so horribly that it just rage quit on me, leaving me to stare at the screen unable to do anything. Other than that one bug, everything else seemed to be in working order. Overall, I really enjoyed Becoming Captain. If you would like to play it for yourself, you can find the demo on Steam, where you can also wishlist the game. The devs have been telling me that they are constantly updating that demo, so there will be stuff added that I didn't even get to experience yet. The next game on our list is a charming dungeon crawler deck builder named Dungeon Clawler. Developed by Strayfawn Studios, Dungeon Clawler puts you in the rabbit-sized feet of Sir Bunalot. This claw-handed hero uses the powers of the Great Claw Machine to take on the hordes of enemies that stand in his way. His goal is to get back what was taken from him, his hand. The main draw of the game for me is the claw machine mechanic. Your deck, to make a long story short, determines what items will appear in the machine at the beginning of each turn. Each item has its own abilities, such as the magic wand that heals you and damages the rear enemy, an invaluable tool in many cases. The claw mechanic itself could either be your best friend or your worst enemy. Many of the other NPCs in the game had abilities that could directly affect the items inside the claw machine, meaning that you could either pick up something that helped you, like a sword or a shield, or you could pick up a spike ball that hurts you. You can be strategic with the claw placement, but ultimately you are at the mercy of the claw. Outside of combat, you had multiple mini-games, like the ability to take Grandma's life savings. I'm gonna come in here and steal all of your money, Grandma. All right, Grandma, here to take your money again. Thanks, Grandma. There are also options to gamble for new items to add to your deck, as well as a mini-game that can also hurt or help you. One of the other things that I enjoyed about Dungeon Clawler was the fact that there were multiple characters to choose from, and each character has their own backstory. Sir Bunalot threw away all of his money and lost his left hand as a result. He must have run into Kenneth Copeland, who will take all your money, your arm, and your leg in the name of air travel. Overall, Dungeon Clawler was a really fun time. You can purchase it right now on Steam for $9.99. Real quick, if you liked the video, consider hitting that like button. And if you want to see more indie game showcases and game reviews, would you hit that subscribe button as well? Back to the games. The third game on our list will take you straight back to the 80s with its aesthetic and soundtrack. Spellhack, developed by Computer Dream, is a deck builder that excels in creating the atmosphere that it wants the players to be immersed in. The fact that you are playing the game on a retro-style monitor while the synthesizer plays in stereo all around you really makes you feel like trying on a pair of parachute pants. Spellhack puts you in the seat of a spell hacker, tasked with defending a portal from digital beasts. In order to take on these beasts, you wield techno spells. These spells vary from status effects to walls, and they are the only thing keeping you from certain defeat. Don't let the bright atmosphere and upbeat music fool you. This game is tough, and I'm not afraid to admit that it brought out Spicy Rev more than once.
Mother trucker, dude! That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick.
You see, the goal is to defend the lanes and hope that the beasts don't overwhelm you. That can be very difficult at times as each beast has its own unique ability, except for that guy. Boo that guy in the comments. Whether you continuously defeat beasts or wall them off, your tactics must be effective enough to help you survive the night. What is really cool is that you also have stuff to do during the day should you survive the night, like opting to scan parts of the city to reveal cool events or caches full of techno spells to aid you on your journey. If you are interested in dusting off your floppy disk and trying out Spellhack for yourself, you can purchase it right now on Steam for $5.99. Moving on to the fourth game on our list, Zet Zillions, developed by Ota Iman Studios, is by far the funniest of the deck builders that I have featured. Each character in the game is voiced, and many of them have great quips and jokes throughout gameplay. Zet Zillions is a roguelike deck builder with an art style that screams Slay the Spy or Weeb Edition. You play as a commander who, along with Foam Gun and her planet ship, will explore the galaxy in search of new planets to colonize or violently spread love to. The characters really make this game stand out to me, but the deck building mechanics are pretty awesome as well. You start off with a deck that centers on throwing your population at enemies and then using certain cards to deal damage based on the amount of population that has infested that enemy. Not only that, but you can combine cards in many different ways, and they call that fusions, and they create cards with varying effects, like a unicorn horn missile that pierces shields. Seeing that it is a roguelike, you are going to restart a lot, but you do grow stronger with every restart. If you want to play Zet Zillions for yourself, you can find it on Steam for $9.99. The final game in our list of indie games puts quite a different spin on what makes the game a deck builder. Lonestar, developed by Mathtide, is a roguelike deck builder that puts you in the pilot seat of a bounty hunter starship, where you will take on a large number of felons in what the devs call shockwave battles. Your deck is the units that you have attached to your ship. Knowing what units do what, and figuring out what synergies work really well together are incredibly important to making sure that you survive each encounter. For example, some of the units work better when the same energy numbers are used on it, while others are buffed by the same color energies. The shockwave battles are pretty intense, and sometimes it's just better if you move your ship up or down to minimize damage being done. However, you can only do that so many times before you've run out of fuel. No worries though, because the Bounty Hunter Association is very generous with its vacation days, and after the fight, you have the opportunity to use those vacation days to go exploring. As you explore, you may end up finding different rarities of units or treasures that serve as perks for your ship. Overall, I really enjoyed the direction that Mathtide took in developing their game. If you want to play it for yourself, you can purchase it right now on Steam for $12.99. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that like button. And if you want to see more, smash that subscribe button. As always, remember that you are loved, and until next time, see you silly gooses. I'm fighting poop!